We're going to talk about delimitation. Delimitation is an eventuality. Delimitation would have happened in 1973. It should have happened in 2001. But for 25 years, delimitation in this country has been put on a cold bar, frozen, no action taken. Reasons political. Now the issue is there a problem with delimitation? Is delimitation unfair to South India? Yes, we will tell you why it is unfair to the South Indian states. Will delimitation change the political game? Yes, we will tell you why it's going to change the political game. Why is DMK and BRS opposed to delimitation exercise? The South states are of the view that the delimitation penalizes them for implementing population policy. They have a point. States in North India have not implemented population control properly, hence their strength in Lok Sabha will increase, which means more political strength. And the states which have good implementation policy to control population, their share will decrease or increase in a very, very cursory way. Tamil Nadu and other states will see an increase, as I mentioned, but it's not going to make much of a difference. Not like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, which are going to see more than 50% jump. And in a way, 5% jump cannot be compared with the 50% jump. So the question is, why is Stalin opposed to it? Why is BRS opposed to it? And is delimitation end up helping one type of politics against another? I ask this in to the point. So my first question is to Vijay Grover, senior journalist who joins me. Vijay, why are southern states so edgy about delimitation?
Well, see, one thing, Katka's simple fact is that, if you were to today look at the situation in which, the delimitation is going to happen, the only region which is going to get shortchanged, I would call it, is the fact that it will be South India. Now, why is the South being punished? For the simple fact that just because the population rates have remained in control, and the kind of growth of population that we have seen in the northern states has been controlled. So, are they paying the price for effective implementation of family planning? That just because the population comes down, the economy has improved, and the center would look at punishing them for the fact that you will have a lesser representation. What does it mean? It means that the South will never have a political say. The southern states will never have a strong voice in the parliament, because when you're talking of 39% coming down to over 32%, what is this? Is it fair? I mean, it's a basic question that just because the southern states gave collectively good governance, or I would say better governance than many of the North Indian states, why is it being punished? It should have been vice versa, ulta, in the fact that if southern states have demonstrated that they can manage their states better, they should have a bigger say in national affairs, instead of being punished by having a lesser thing, just because population can never be the criteria for having a representation in the thing. Southern states, especially Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala, have shown time and again that be it on any parameter of development, be it literacy rates, be it health index, or be it in family planning, that they have demonstrated they can manage their states better. And if that is the skill, that is something which is there in mind, the parliament should actually take cognizance of that and ensure that states which have shown better parameters should have more representatives who can implement these things in the states which are poorly governed. And this, I do not want to name any of these states in the northern region, but all of us know that UP and Bihar are the biggest culprits, and maybe Rajasthan, where health indexes and other parameters have nothing big to talk about.
And it's not the first time that the delimitation has happened. It happened in 1951, it happened in 1963, it happened in 1970 after 63, it happened in 1973. But since then, 76 and 2001, it has been frozen. No government was able to take this decision. Why?
Yeah, I think we should be asking the people who are running this country why they did not have this delimitation process for decades. The basic point is that the South is way ahead of the North, the so-called cow belt states, in literacy rate, population growth has been controlled, and the whole thing is related to literacy rate and uh, um, you know, education. Yeah, people in the south are better educated and the literacy rate is very high as compared to literacy rate in UP and Bihar, which are big states, and you have a lot more illiterate people in these states than the rest of India. And so if and when we have a delimitation uh, process going to be done in this country, it should be done after the general election, it should be done after the next census, and the population alone should not be the criteria. You have to give weightage to rate of growth and literacy rate, and a lot of combination factors need to be built in so that the south, which has been very successfully implementing the population policies, does not suffer. Kartikeya?
Okay, Pankaj, your opening thoughts?
Well, Kartikeya, the thing is, speaking to the point, I would say delimitation, the freeze that we are talking about, obviously it has been a long time, but then the resurrection of it won't come as a surprise. But taking a look at the political scenario as of now here, this is being seen more in terms of political mileage that a certain party would want to gain down south specifically. As far as the southern states like BRS or DMK are concerned, the political parties, well, they have already enumerated the reasons that why they should not be punished for keeping the population control measures strictly in place, and why the increasing number of populations in the cow belt, as one of our guests also mentioned, since it is increasing, so they should have more representation in the Lok Sabha. The way, as you mentioned, Kartikeya, the delimitations that happened over a period of time, starting from the 50s till 70s, they also witnessed the increase in number of Lok Sabha seats also. That is done equally in proportion, and that is the key area. Why southern states won't want it? Because they think that they have managed to run it well so far. Their policies have worked, irrespective of which particular party has been in power, but Congress and BJP have not in power in the south, and that's why they would rather want to treat it as their own domain. And this is one aspect that would unite the opposition parties even in South.
Let me tell you, before I go to Brijesh, these are estimated figures. Now, if we say, as of now, the 5 states, Karnataka 28, Tamil Nadu 39, Telangana 17, Andhra 25, Kerala 20, along the Union Territory of Puducherry have 130 seats in Lok Sabha. Now, if this is going to happen, in terms of the new figures, the numbers are going to go up tremendously. The estimated figures, let me just see the page. The estimated figures are so high that it's, Uttar Pradesh will end up with possible seats in 140, more than 100 seats. Bihar roughly 79, Uttar Pradesh 143. Together 220 seats. 56 more seats than Uttar Pradesh together. Brijesh, this changes everything.
Well, it does. And this is the reason why there is so much concern as far as southern states are concerned. A, because it is unfair. B, the fact is that then the leverage with the North Indian states will have over the polity of the country, and the kind of disproportionate influence it will have as far as running the entire country. It'll be a nightmare as far as southern states and other states are concerned. I mean, if you have base in UP and Bihar, you are almost sorted. You don't need to, you want to be a national party, that's all right. But all you need to do is to have a presence in UP, Bihar, and a couple of other states, and you are done and dusted. And so, I think the concern which Stalin is raising is a very genuine concern. B, anything which speaks about hegemony of North, or how North is trying to influence or put their politics, keeping South at a disadvantage, also works for the regional party. So I think DMK is also aware of the fact that this delimitation exercise, which starts with in 2026, is likely to happen in 2026. And if they go hammer and tongs about it, invoking Southern pride and all, it may also do electorally very well for the DMK as far as 2024 election is concerned. Remember, 2024 election is also a very, very crucial election as far as opposition parties are concerned, especially for the DMK, where it is in the middle of a coalition of other regional parties, along with the Congress party, where they want to upstage or dethrone Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So it works for them. The imposition of Hindi as a language, it works for them. And this particular, this scenario where the South will be fairly at a disadvantageous position vis-a-vis Uttar Pradesh and Bihar will definitely stroke the right sentiment, and honestly speaking, rightly so. Because there can never be a situation where you penalize a state just because they stick to the state and the said parameters, rather than penalizing the states which have not stuck with it.
I shouldn't be using the example of Pakistan because it's like apples and peaches. But you see, Punjab Assembly dominates the politics of Pakistan.
Right.
If you look at Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, if you look at Baluchistan, number hi nahi hai. So, if this is the way Uttar Pradesh is going to go, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar will dominate the politics of Indian Parliament. I mean to say, this is so unfair.
Well, needless to say here, Karthikeya, because see, just look at the numbers also. 2026, if we take that marker going beyond 2024, the number of seats that would be increasing in Uttar Pradesh is roughly, 60 more seats will be added. For Bihar, it's 39 to 40 seats, almost doubling from the original strength as of now. But down south, if we take a look at it, then the numbers are just increasing by 10 or mere 12 seats. So obviously, given the fact that the representation would be reduced, and as it is being seen that development won't be rewarded, is something. But I would again insist here, Karthikeya, and being very to the point here, that it has got political overtones also. Remember what happened in Bihar, one of the reasons why Nitish Kumar snapped his ties with the BJP on the face of it was caste census also. And remember, census and delimitation go hand in hand. And that is one of the primary bases. Here, the center is objected to conducting caste census in Bihar, thus actually, leaving one of his partners. But again, that particular aspect would have thrown a different angle altogether to this whole population debate, whether the seats should be increased or not. Because on the basis of caste, the dimensions would change, the dynamics would change.
Brijesh, is it fair to have, Vijay Grover, to you, is it fair that one or two states actually have so much of power in the new Lok Sabha?
Well, see, this is a very dangerous trend. And, people in the South have now understood that it is not just the political parties which take a stance. In fact, if you've seen, the anti-Hindi movements have now populated down to the level where the common man also feels that in the recent years, especially in the last 5-6 years, we've seen that Hindi is being thrust upon the people in the South, be it through the highways, be it through the railways, or be it through the income tax departments of the banks, that, forcible adoption of Hindi as a language is being thrust on the people in the South. And it is not just the political parties who oppose the move. Now it's the common man. We've seen so many civic movements which have started in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, where these have been opposed. And I'm sure the delimitation is also going to face a similar thing, where not just, today Stalin and KTR may be the two who are raising these these issues on their platforms. But the fact is that people of the states of the southern peninsula will definitely wake up to this and realize that, if today, even a state like Karnataka, because, the common grouse is that, most of the revenue, which is even collected through GST, does not get devolved to the southern states. It goes more to the backward states. So we have seen this economic disparity in the past after GST was brought in. And we are seeing that, the similar thing might even happen politically. So it is not just one move of the delimitation. It's the devolution of GST, where southern states have felt shortchanged by the center, and despite having a finance minister who's from Karnataka. So clearly this is something which the people of these southern states will wake up to, and it could have a big bearing on both the national parties, the Congress and the BJP, who will be forced to spell their plans before the delimitation actually happens. We saw Annamalai's fight now, and Annamalai very clearly is not in sync with his own party's leadership. He is being forced to talk the way any Tamil leader would speak. So clearly you see the difference which is happening now, and this is what is expected that over the next year and before 2024 elections, certainly the people of the southern states who feel that, they need to get their rightful share will have to raise their voice and not let, this delimitation in the present format on population alone being thrust on their throats.